Hey guys, what up? It's Goose TV here again today, and today I'm back with another Madden Mobile video on my channel. Now today's video, guys, we are talking about my Madden Mobile 22 wishlist. This is the second video we've made on this. I will leave a link in the description to the first part if you'd like to check that out. We're going to be talking about my next set of points and my next things that I'd like to see in Madden Mobile 22, whether changing from Madden Mobile 21 or adding to Madden Mobile 22. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn my post notifications so you never miss any of my videos. 70% of you guys aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's try to get this video to 200 likes. Hey guys, this video is sponsored by Seatgeek. I'm excited to become a brand ambassador for Seatgeek. Seatgeek is by far the easiest way to buy tickets for anything. NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and even concerts, they have it all. It compiles the prices from all over the web to make sure you're getting the best price on each ticket. Each ticket has a score to let you know if you're getting a good or bad deal, green being good and red being bad. And on your first purchase of $50 or more on the SeatGeek app, using my code TheGooseTV, you're going to get $20 off. It's a huge deal. Definitely not going to want to pass this up. Click the link in my description to get started, and let's get on with the video. So around the corner, we've probably got Madden Mobile 22. Once again, we do not have any concrete dates. We don't have anything, really no specific leaks. We don't have any information. We have hints and things, and I'm going to be talking about a few of those in this video today, but for the most part, we don't know anything. So hopefully we get some sneak peeks soon. We should be able to make maybe a third video before we start getting some new stuff before the game comes out. So in the comments below, leave any ideas you might have for stuff you either want to change for Madden Mobile 21 or what do you want to add to Madden Mobile 22. So let's get into the brand new points that I want to talk about in today's video. And one of the main things is making sure when stuff gets released that it works correctly. I don't know if the game is not tested. Obviously it's not, because the way that these promos are rolled out, or maybe they do test and there's always just issues. Whatever it is, I really think they need to emphasize making sure that releases are working the way they should. I swear, every single promo, almost every single promo, there's some issue, some glitch, and some of it I feel like would be easy to identify. Is it easy to fix? That's not for me to say, but I feel like identifying it is very easy. And if the thing is going to take a while, please just don't release the promo, because some of the stuff this year we know was so game breaking. Martin Gate, some of the stuff later in the year. Obviously we had issues with the fireworks this year opening at times and stuff like that. So focus on making sure when the stuff comes out that the sets are correct, the players are correct. Make sure everything is working as intended. Yeah, every once in a while stuff like that is going to happen. There's always going to be glitches and unintended things, but when it's every single promo and some of it is the same stuff that keeps happening over and over again, then that's something that really I think needs to get emphasized. Like I said, I'm not a developer. I don't know, how to fix it. I don't know what they need to do. Maybe it's not as easy as it sounds, and it may not be, but for the most part, it really seems like the game is not tested, and they put out an unfinished product without even looking at the sets and verifying to see that they're true. So once again, hopefully that can be better next year, because that'll lead to a lot less glitches and just big issues in the game when these promos come out. And another thing that I want to talk about, I didn't talk about this in the last video, none of this stuff, but I think this is such an important thing, is when they release things, make sure there's a schedule and make sure that we keep up on it. We had fan favorites earlier in the year, which I think was actually a really cool idea. It reminded me of some older games. The sets were like easy and it made sense to do. They used that core loop feature. I don't know if I talked about that core loop. I don't think I really did talk about the core loop in the first, in the first video. I'm not sure, but I'm going to reiterate. The core loop system I thought was really cool, with all the team badges and collectibles and everything like that, and I really wish they were used a lot more, because obviously they kind of gave up on them. Fan favorites in some of the first few promos of the year fired up, and fan favorites came out with launch, and those were pretty much the only things that used any of that core loop system, and it was completely scrapped, and it really sucks, because I thought fan favorites definitely could have been one of the coolest things we had. At the start of the year, some of the players were actually really good, and I think really useful. At the start, like I said, I had a couple of those guys on my team. They were easy to get, and they were fun to get. I think they did a good job with the first two releases, and then they gave up on it. Please just keep these updated, or just don't put them in the game, because these would have been cool to continue. So when stuff gets released, make sure we have a schedule. Keep stuff up to date. And I think I talked a little bit about this last video as well. The Madden Today events and stuff, where we have some of those other promos back, the Aces, Royals, and Veterans, or throwback to like game changers and stuff like that. What they should do is when they release them, update them maybe every month or so, add new players with higher overalls, maybe change up the sets the way they work a little bit, but make stuff intriguing and give us players to get in all areas of the game. And that is something that I think will really drastically improve a lot of areas. Even like promos, I talk about this all the time. The promos will be better if other areas of the game give you rewards, so it won't put a huge emphasis on promos. And I think that's a really important part. The structure of this year was fully on promos. Obviously, Fan Favorites wasn't even a promo, and it failed. Every single card that you get this year, other than Field Pass, which I would argue has to do with promos, every single card this year has been from promos. There's no Madden Today players, there's no League players, there's not. Master Series is so far behind to the point where we're not even going to use the cards. Potentially a Max Lamar might be coming up, but I'm not sure. I forgot to play my events this morning. But basically, I think that's super important to have less focus on promos and Field Passes. I think I talked about this last video as well. I think it's such an important thing. We need to get cards in different areas of the game, and the promos need to be a little bit of a less focus. Like, we complain about the promos and not having anything to do, but imagine if we had Man Today stuff. We actually had reasons to use our stamina or grind stuff out for leagues. We wouldn't care about promos being boring and only playing a couple events a day. I think that would really help out. But kind of going back to the core loop, I got sidetracked a little bit. Something that I think the core loop resembled was the trophy system back in Madden Mobile 15, 16, and 17. If you remember, trophies basically in pretty much most sets and a lot of basic sets, you just add trophies along with players, or some sets were just straight up for trophies. And trophies worked very similarly to the core loop system and some of these Madden Workshop collectibles, except it was very simplified. It was bronze, silver, gold, and elite trophies. Obviously, we would have diamond trophies maybe now if they were to reintroduce that, but it'd be much easier than having 30 team badges and whatever, like 10 position collectibles, 4 scheme collectibles. There's so many different collectibles, and I think it could have been used this year, and they didn't do that. But I think the trophy system would make it a lot easier to do, and if they were able to bring that back and help out with promos, it would help regulate costs of different sets. I think I loved the trophies when they were back, and it's very similar to the core loop system, so I don't see why they can't introduce trophies back into the game in Madden Mobile 22. Now, something Nick Messina, our community manager, hinted at, quote unquote hinted, there is a clip that someone asked if power was going to be removed, and he said, "I'm not sure," wink. He winked. So I'm guessing that power's not going to be in Madden Mobile 22. I think that's such of a huge factor, I think, but I think that I think power will be removed next year. I really think that's something that's going to be changed, and hopefully that is the case, because I don't think anybody likes power in this game. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. In general, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I've never been a fan of power. I don't think most people are a fan of power, and it's most likely going to be removed, so I'm just guessing that's going to be the case. Now, something that is a little bit different is the auction house. Obviously, this year was better than last year. You're actually able to sell your cards, but the problem is most of the time your cards are selling on bid. It is almost impossible to sell your card on a buy now price for whatever reason, the way the bot works and everything like that. I'm guessing there will be no changes to the auction house next year. I think it was fine for the most part. Just my main issue is, let's say you want to sell a card or something like that. For the most part, you're waiting 4 full hours to be able to get your card. You can't just post it for a low price and get it bought for the most part. I remember in the first day of the game, when we used to have access to the auction house right away, or as soon as you got in the auction house, your goal is to try to get as many coins as you can. So what you would do is you could sell stuff pretty cheaply, and it would sell right away. You could start making more coins right away, and even if you just want some quick coins, there's really no way to do that, because stuff is just if it's gonna get bought for the most part, unless you're selling it for way too cheap, it's gonna get bid on, and you gotta wait. So that'd be like the only change for the most part. I know they're not going back to a player run auction house, so hopefully that's something that we can see change next year. That's just kind of my own personal preference, but maybe it'll change, maybe it won't, not sure, but we will have to see on that. One of the big issues that we had this year is a lot of the promos had non-auctionable cards. Now, there's a couple different ways that they could do this, or maybe reasons they haven't done this or whatever, but for almost every single promo in this summer or recently, the way promos have worked is the Masters are auctionable, but every card below it, for example, the 102s require 101, 100, and a 99, which are all unauctionable. Now, obviously, the reason for that is they don't want you to just get all your stuff and not spend money on the game. It's a business. It's how it works. You're your goal as a free-to-play player, you're able to get 1 or 2 masters per promo depending on how many gems or coins you're willing to spend. But the goal is you're trying not to get all that stuff with coins. They don't want you to just use your coins to get other stuff. So that's the reason that those aren't auctionable. However, I think an easy solution for this, even afterwards, some people still want these cards on their team, is make them auctionable after the promo ends. I know some, I think it was Madden Mobile 18 or maybe it was Overdrive, I'm not sure. They had masters weren't auctionable for certain parts of the year, but then they made them auctionable after a certain date. Maybe it was Madden Mobile 20. I'm not sure. But you get the point. After the promos are over, there's no reason for, once the sets are gone, there's no reason why these players shouldn't be auctionable. I really think that would help, and maybe that's a big change that can really happen next year. Going back to the promo structure a little bit, the promos and everything around this game is so focused on promos and field passes. The way the field passes have worked, it's so focused on the field passes that that's all you're doing in the game. And I know I've talked about this a lot, but the way the field passes are structured is it's copy-paste over and over again. You see earlier in the year, obviously there's less players playing now than there were earlier in the year, but like some of my videos when I do like my new field passes and how to get field pass points, everything is the exact same. Nothing has changed. The achievements have not changed, the gameplay achievements haven't changed, nothing has changed other than the overalls of the players and the art. That is literally the only thing that has changed from field pass to field pass, and we're about to head into our 10th field pass tomorrow. Vacation road trip is our field pass. I'll have a video out at around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern when that drops at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm super excited to get into the last one, but it's so repetitive and it leads to promos being the same thing over and over again. Everything is just copy paste, and that's because of the field pass structure. I'm almost 100% certain that field passes will be back in next game. I just hope they can run them in a different way that doesn't make the game feel so copy paste. I think that's everything I'm going to talk about today. If you have any other ideas for things you want to change for Madden Mobile 21 or add to Madden Mobile 22, please leave them down in the comments. I will create a list and hopefully make one more video on this before we get new information and Madden Mobile 22 drops. So hopefully we can get some more information soon. Today's post notification shout out goes out to Takeoff TV. Be the first person to comment on a video for the next video's post notification shout out. But guys, that's just about it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm Goose TV and I'm out. I will see you guys later.